Unmute myself. Hi, Allison.
Hello.
All right, we're gonna share. She made me host. Yep, good to go. I'm sharing. Thank you. I don't like running Zooms, but I know like it's necessary. So, oh, we have Andrea now. Andrea, right?
Andrea.
Did I pronounce that right?
Andrea.
Oh, hold on, I'm muted. How do I pronounce your name?
Andrea.
I did it. Okay.
It's difficult, I know.
Well, after I saw the A-U-N, I was like, no, I think Andrea. It's got a nice little flow. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the chat. That's the only thing I'm not that great at when I'm running these Zooms. So if you have a question I'm not seeing in the chat, feel free to take yourself off mute. My trainings, if you've never been on them, they're pretty interactive. I like to have more of a conversation setting. So I hope you guys have had your coffee because I'm gonna be calling on people. No, I'm just kidding. I will ask for input though. All right, so I'm excited about this training. I don't usually venture too much into the marketing piece because I really just enjoy the financial piece and the loan programs and knowledge. This is a program that we put together to help with the social media platforms. And a lot of this is going to be targeted toward Facebook, but of course you can use it over multi-platforms. And then I'm also going to be highlighting some tools that you guys have available to you free of charge through Keller Home Loans partnership. So get into, so afraid this is going to go off behind me. Okay, keep checking behind me. Attracting your buyers through social media. And what are some of the social media platforms that you guys see a lot of traction in? Is it mostly Facebook?
Just kind of started looking at Instagram and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm big on Facebook and I'm trying to force myself into Instagram because I think there's a lot more of the first time home buyers now go to Instagram before they'll go to Facebook. Yeah. So that seems to be more of the trend. And of course, there's always TikTok, which, I mean, it can be a great information platform too when used the right way with some humor too.
Oh, he had it taken.
One of the tips that they're suggesting is those Facebook groups. I was trying to brainstorm because I am on like the Maslin buy sell trade and like the Maslin what do they call them?
He went right to the hospital.
Not whistleblower, but sounding board. Yeah, things like that. Like the buy sell trade, like if you see somebody that's selling off a bunch of stuff because they're clearing out a house for whatever reason, like great opportunity to go check something out and have a conversation. What other groups can you guys think of to join? Because I mean, you could really think outside the box on this. Like if you had people that needed different trades suggestions, plumbers, electricians, things like that, like are there any other groups that you guys are part of?
Is there something that we can do to get the labs for you?
Oh, your own group.
I mean, we're part of groups, but that's one of our big focuses to avoid from
Family reunion. I was in that breakout too.
But just really getting into the local groups. And I didn't even think about buy sell trade. About one saying like to pop over and be like, hey, you're selling this. Your great aunt just died, so let's sell her house. Didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're in like our neighborhood.
They didn't put it, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and neighborhood groups. So, on
Yeah.
Zoom, what we were talking about was the fact that, at family reunion, there were a couple of breakouts about community groups. And one lady, that was on one of the panels had, I don't know how many pages like she was running, but she had like 20 some groups at any one time that they were just subgroups, mom groups, community neighborhood groups like
I
you
can
were
tell you
talking
what
about.
it is.
And she just started up these groups, even in areas she wasn't like living
Phone
in, but she
number
wanted to do
here is
business in. She was
330.
opening up these groups. So those can be a huge tool, not just to be part of, but you could be the springboard for it, to start it up.
Yeah, must be right.
And then be able to control the content
Yeah.
and, be able to actually post stuff and share stuff without being shut down by the admin, because you're the admin.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, so like, how do you ask the admin, like, whatever. Has the role, do they
Will you
rule?
call me if it's getting?
You
Okay,
got
perfect.
denied because you
Thank
didn't
you.
include 10 characters, because you were sharing something from somewhere else,
Andrea.
and it's like, so you have to go back, just trying to think like.
Yeah.
what Tips and tricks that you have on that.
Yeah, so as far as promoting posts on Facebook, like on general, just the feed, we're gonna get into that. In terms of those admins, like you can't like, the only thing you can do is hope that it gets posted for a little window of time before somebody takes it down, and then just keep pushing your luck, I guess. But when you're the one driving, when you're the admin, when you're the one starting those groups, you don't have to worry about that. And it does, I would suggest it not being a real estate focus, honestly, just add value to the community and then be front of mind that way. Yeah. That's what Mike was asking about, how to get around, like getting posts kicked back in those admin situations. So the social media listing flyers, obviously it's really great to let people know when you do have a listing coming up, even if they're not in the market or you just want them to come through an open house. We have list reports, so that is a tool that we'll be looking at briefly at the end of the presentation. But they put together these beautiful shareables for any of your social media. If you have a listing that hits the MLS and you are a partner of Keller Home Loans and you're listed in the list reports as a partner, they're going to pick up on your MLS listing, and within 15 minutes, you're going to be emailed a marketing packet automatically. So this is absolutely on autopilot. It's going to put that into these beautiful shareables. It's also going to give you QR code and a text to text to list or list to text, where they're going to text your code, your specific agent code, to get information on a property. So they're going to be sending you their information, simultaneously getting the listing information sent to their phone. So essentially replacing the need for a listing sheet or an open house flyer. And then that's going to go into a file that you can bring into whatever your CRM command is.
I think me and you sat down with this and started doing, what I ran into when we got the packet is it didn't have like the Keller Williams Legacy Group Realty on it. Is there any type of workaround for that where for marketing purposes, we have to have that side of it? Is there any way to get that on there, or is there something that was missing, or?
I don't know if we get dinged for that compliance wise. I know when we brought up a marketing kit, we did have the legacy group. And essentially when I'm putting agents in as partners, it's pulling it automatically from the MLS.
Put your logo in or, site, I just did that a couple days ago, went in and put my information in, my license number and our logo and all that. It was on the setup page.
So you built out the profile on your end. Yeah. So that's how that other email popped up then.
Was that under settings?
Is there an account tab?
picture, we dropped down to the settings, I believe. Bottom of it, because yeah, when I did a post the first time, it didn't have the logo on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, around and I found it.
Okay, so it's there, we just gotta play around with it.
Yeah, okay, there's like 3 tabs across the top where you put in personal information, brokerage information, and
Yeah.
something.
Okay, so what Jay Johnson was just saying is once, and Allison and Andrea will be setting, I'll be happy to set you guys up on list reports so you can check it out for yourself. Once I pull in the information from the MLS, for your licensing, it's gonna send you an invitation. Jay additionally went out to his account and then started filling in everything else. So the NMLS number, the KW Legacy logo, and things like that. And he also had to correct an email address. So once you accept the invitation, just go in there and make sure you have all the links that you want in there for your website and ways to contact you. Everything's correct because it's going to go out to everybody that way. And then you can add the KW Legacy logo too.
Okay,
So
thank you.
for chat bots, I think this is really important. I actually attended a Facebook Boost conference when they were in Cleveland and learned a lot behind the business pages and boosting posts and things like that. The chat bots were already, and this was several years ago, but the chat bots were very integral in getting those responses from your page because the business pages in particular have insights that you actually kind of get scored based on how quickly you respond to those messages that go out. So people can see responds within 1 minute, responds within 1 hour, responds within 1 day. And they can, when they get into your messenger to message your business pages through Facebook, they see your response time averages in there. So a lot of people were employing or engaging in these chat bots because it would automatically respond, boosting their response rating up when clients were going out to their pages. So those chat bots could be good too, even if it's just a generic, hey, thank you for your message. We will be in touch with you within however amount of time. And then that really boosts your response rating when people are going out to your page to, whether it's, asking a question or looking for your reviews, things like that. So they were talking about sharing the listing flyers and giving you really do want to streamline it. I know a lot of people spend a ton of time and some people can't stand it, but building just a streamlined image, and that goes a really long way when you're talking about social media because it's visual. You're scrolling, that you have like 0.3 seconds to make that first impression and capture their attention. If you don't have a good visual, it's not going to get you very far. They're not going to stop scrolling. Which is another reason why that list reports is, and that's what Jay said earlier today. He said he's been spending about $200 a month on somebody to help put together Facebook content and shareables and things like that. And this is all actually on autopilot, free of charge to you. It's a paid account from us. So lasting connections, it's very easy to get into these one-sided conversations with yourself and social media, especially when you're blasting out just listings or real estate information versus actually engaging in other people's posts. So even if you have to, and it seems like such a time suck when you have a million other things going on, but even if you have to time block some time, like once a week or a couple times a week during the busiest traction or traffic times on social media, just to go out and like actually comment on other people's posts. Because your engagement encourages other people's engagement on there, but also as you're engaging, you're going to be moving up in their feed too. So that those connections and those relationships back and forth are going to also help put your post front of mind and more visible to them. So promote the town, not just the house, and the shareables on list reports do that very well. I'll show you that in a little bit. Be yourself, obviously. I think there's a lot of talk around authenticity now. People know when you're not really talking the way you would normally talk or whatever. A lot of people, well, I won't say a lot of people, Jay, don't take offense to this only because you're the oldest one in the room. But I feel like even for me, and Tara and I were talking about this a little bit earlier, coming up in whatever industry when you're young and inexperienced, like you have to carry yourself a certain way to be professional, to be respected. That was probably more relevant for us. Now I don't feel like anybody cares. They want you to be your authentic self, whatever that means, whatever that looks like. Jay's walking and looking like a hippie, but he's his authentic self. And it's like, if you want to do business with me, great. If you don't, well, then good luck to you. So, right, right. But that's the thing. You used to have to carry yourself a certain way to be successful in whatever industry. And now it's not. It's more valuable to be authentic than to put forth a false image, I guess. Chatting with your followers, like I said, just engaging, going back and forth, responding to comments, both good and bad. Which is hard. Sometimes you have to respond the way you want to respond and get it all out on the keyboard and then hit delete and then respond the way you should respond. But for anything good and bad, and a lot of times you can turn those, it could be an opportunity to turn those people into clients actually. So don't forget video. I don't know if anybody else, I think majority of people are going to be more likely to stop and watch, a 30-second video rather than to read through a 3-paragraph post. They're going to get that information in a short period of time. So it's very like, is anybody super comfortable like recording videos, watching back videos and posting videos of themselves?
I do it all the time on TikTok. I just don't get any traction.
Yeah.
And I found myself just watching too much TikTok compared to what I was posting. But I'm like, honestly, knowing that I have more followers on Facebook, I was like, I need to just switch it over and do those on there instead.
And the nice thing is you can share those across all the platforms with one click of a button. But I think a lot of people get held up on, again, making everything perfect and having a finished photo and editing this and blah, blah. I found for years that I was held back in this area for a long time because I wanted to have like a finished product and great sound and da da da. All I needed was a good phone. I needed to crop out me pushing record and me stopping it. And I didn't need to do too many takes. If I stuttered or stumbled a little bit because my brain got ahead of my mouth, that's me. Like that's what you're gonna get in my office. So that's what you got in my video. And I got a lot more engagement out of it. So don't get in your own way when it comes to those videos is the only advice I can give. I like number 6, avoid simply shouting out your home listings. If you look at Facebook as like, your house on your neighborhood street and you just went out every day and just stood on your front stoop and be like, I have a listing going there. You wouldn't I think a couple of the neighbors would probably call somebody on you, but commit you. But look at it that way. I mean, it really is just a virtual, you look at the metaverse, it is just a virtual way to interact and engage with people, and you wouldn't be engaging with people like that in everyday life. And obviously don't ignore your existing clients. There might be people like that are in stages of life. What are the D's that we look for? The divorce, degrees, diapers, death, what else? There's one more. Isn't there 5? I'm testing everybody today. I told you to drink your coffee. I think I was doing pretty good. Okay, so if you're looking for people in those stages of life, don't forget your existing clients. Don't forget your past clients. Stay engaged, stay front of mind, because you never know what they got going on, even if they're not posting it. How to get home buyers to see your content. The first one, you're more likely to see content from sources you interact with. So just like I said before, if you're actually engaging in their posts, it's going to boost your post naturally. I don't pretend to know why. Mike probably knows more on this than I do, but it always pays to engage. The types of content, like I said, they're going to be more likely to stop and watch a 30-second video. You don't have a whole lot of time. Or even if it's just some text and a stock photo. The photo is going to grab their attention. It's going to get them to read the text. But also there's tons of research that shows even just adding an emoji in your text grabs their attention and has better engagement. So if you want a little bit more engagement, add the emoji. Next step is a photo. Next step is a video. Just our brains are visual. That's how we work. And then again, interactions with the posts. The algorithms will prioritize posts with a lot of engagement, especially from people you interact with a lot. So even if, you're posting a listing and then you have more details in the comments, or you ask a question to the group in the comments and get people to engage in that question on your post, like that's going to start boosting your post if you have a call to action in your comments. And do as I say, not as I do, because I need to be doing this stuff on a more regular basis, but we'll get there. 7 tips for working with Facebook algorithms. Understand what your audience wants to see. A lot of people, I think, and I don't think this is just because we're in real estate, we're in lending, like I feel like even when people don't know what I do, real estate is always the topic of conversation when I go places. So they're interested in knowing what the market's doing and they want more information on it. If you have a newsletter and you can cross post content from your newsletter to social media, that's going to be a great way to get some engagement and get conversations going. But yeah, I find that even if I'm traveling, I find that there's always somebody having a real estate conversation. It's crazy. Create, curate, authentic content. So another nice thing about using different sources like List Report is that the content is sourced for you. You don't have to cite it. You don't have to verify it. Like we know that these sources are reliable and they're in real time. Engage with your audience, which you've said a million times. Get your audience to engage with you. So questions to the group, polls, calls to action, even if it's something completely unrelated. Like I feel like I've seen Sam Holmes do some really fun, like, are you a mustard person or a mayonnaise? But like, I don't know, something silly like that every once in a while just to get some engagement. And that's still going to boost all your other posts. Don't forget the basic status posts. And I feel like now you have so many more ways to engage, even just on Facebook, between your stories, because people are like, that's one of those things they don't have to scroll. The story's just going to play and they're just going to watch as everybody's stories goes through. So whether you're posting it to a basic status or your story, and you can simultaneously post both, you're going to get in front of different people through your story than you are through a basic post. And expand your reach through your best advocates. And I think a lot of that is going to be in those groups too, just to show that you're an expert. That was really short presentation. I asked her, I wanted to do a 2-part, but she said we should probably separate it off into. So the next one that I wanted to do was, I can't remember the name of it. And we're going to go, this gives us plenty of time to go through list reports. So that's good. But I wanted to do a 2nd-part series, and it was scheduling out your posts. So consistency is a huge part of being relevant and having those interactions be consistent. So through list reports, and I have not engaged with this yet. Did you get to look at it last week, the scheduling out the posts? Okay. So I'm going to share our list reports. Now, you have a couple of platforms when you partner with Keller Home Loans. One is Agent Station, which is a ton of flyers. You're gonna have all the different program specific flyers, whether it's like first timers or first responders, first time home buyers, things like that. You can actually get those co-branded to you on a fly. So if you were doing a weekend open house and you want to have a specific program there, you would have access to generate that flyer yourself. I'm happy to do it for you. You guys can reach out to me. But I also wanted to share our list reports, and it's not showing up on the screen, and I don't know why. Maybe if I get out of here. Because list reports has a specific tab, and this is not what I want to promote. Has stopped. Okay, so maybe if I share it again, it'll be on the screen when I want. List report. Good. Okay. So this is list reports. This is my view of it. I have agent partners where all we have to do is start typing your name. They usually, unless you're super new to MLS system, it's going to pull you in automatically. This is a great way for you to also manage leads. You can get emails sent out and manage past client touches. But if you go out and post a listing on the MLS, within 15 minutes, you're going to get one of these handy dandy marketing kits. And Jay just had a listing go live today. But before he even got to my office, I already had the packet in my pipeline. So if we pull this up, and this is a lot of information, so there we go. If we pull this up, you have a lot of options here. So you have a single property website that you can share out. And this is going to be one step above simply just sharing out a listing flyer, because this website is actually going to engage and give you intel on the number of clicks and the people. I think the traffic that actually comes through, you can capture data through this website. So versus sending them to the listing through whatever, they're always going to click on Zillow. And if you want them on your realtor pages, great. But these sites are also going to help you capture clicks and clients. So you have a couple of options here as far as branding. We've got this colorful one up first, and that link you would share out in the beginning when you go live, excuse me. And then you have the follow-up, so recently sold, so that property, I mean, you still have some traffic through your social media when you're sending out these links, even after it's sold. Then you have a more streamlined, cleaner look. This is just the white with the house in the background. So if we go out to these property sites, and you can share them in LinkedIn, you can share them through Facebook, or you can just download the link and share it to any of the other properties. But if you sync your accounts, it would share straight from list reports. So we'll go in and take a look. A lot of this content is going to carry over into the other marketing tools. So when you look at these boxes, it's pretty much going to be on all of your flyers moving through that marketing kit. So about the house, you have all the details, square footage, price, bedrooms, and then you don't want to click on it. So your photos are going to pop up there. Again, it's all pulled from the MLS. So whatever you choose to post on there is going to make it to the single site. And then
Is that a combo?
Tara's ready to sell that property form already.
I have somebody they don't want a condo, but they want a can.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the one we're talking about. And then we have the printables. So these flyers you can use for open houses, promotional flyers. You can order your own sign writers on this website. Even if you want to download the image and order it through your normal sign person, you can do that as well. What it does is it gives you when you're set up in here as an agent, you're going to get your own text code. That text code is also going to be a QR code. So those are going to be on all of your properties. So you can order these. You also have a sign-in sheet that's going to have your QR code. But what happens is when they want this information on the property, they can scan that QR code. It's going to ask them for a few key pieces of information, and then it's going to send them essentially this virtual flyer to their phone. So what that does is it puts it into a nice, what is it? CSV? Is that the format for the, yeah, I'm always getting mixers. It's not CVS, that's a drugstore. So it's CSV file so that you can put it into your database, whether it's command or whatever. CJ, that's the AOL one again. We might have to get with the help center on that.
I'm curious, I know that we're linked up on this, me and Tara obviously work together.
Mhm.
Oh, is there a way for it to make sure that it links me and her from the MLS, or is it because it's my account, technically it links to me?
I think it's gonna link to you. Now we can set a separate one up for her. There's also a place when you're in list reports, like say you listed the house, but Tara's doing the open house. There's also a way for Tara to go in and start typing the home address. It'll autofill it in too, and then she just plugs in the open house date and time, and then it'll brand all the open house stuff to her.
What if we're told this?
I don't know if I can do two. I think we might want to put like, yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out, because I mean, we've learned that when she sells the house, it's better.
Should we dive into this? No. That's another meeting. Why it's better for Tara to sell the listing than for Mike. That's a best practices meeting. So yes, we have these open house flyers. This is a really nice one sheeter, but then you also have like the full property infographic, I believe it's called. Yes, the infographic. So when we're talking about shouting out your neighborhood, shouting out your community, not just the property, this is where you're going to go for a lot of that information. And obviously, like they don't know the cool little hole in the walls and things like that, but at least you can get some information on where's the closest gym, where's the closest bank, gas station. I mean, this is a half a mile to everything. This is or under, like that's incredible. Outdoor report. So if they're outdoorsy, if they like to golf, if they're runners, like they've got all this information. 27 golf courses. Do you think that's accurate? 10 miles?
I mean.
There's a lot.
Radius.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I think there's like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
50-mile radius. I said, are you sure I'm gonna clear up past Cleveland here? Well, maybe not that far. Just thinking time is hours to work.
Well, I'm sure.
That doesn't mean an hour.
Yeah.
Because you're within 55.
And maybe it's because my brain's not registering like the private ones. Here's my favorite one, the good eats category. And it breaks it all out into like all the different categories of food. I mean, I think this is great, especially when, yeah. Schools.
Do you recommend just the open house or recommend?
I think it'd be good to have one of these infographics printed sitting on the counter for them to flip through. I wouldn't necessarily put a ton out for them to take with them because you really want them to scan that QR code. They're going to get infographics through the QR code, like the information sheet that is on your open house flyer or the open house sign-in sheet. That's all going to have the same information. So they're going to capture all of this if they do that text to listing. And then simultaneously, now you're getting all that data and they don't have to have their name on an open house flyer sitting out for everybody and their moms to see. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, they didn't see nothing to go.
Yeah, they don't leave them out there.
They're just, yeah, this is checked in.
Yeah. But too, you don't have to go home and put all those names and emails and phone numbers.
I'm going to send you their information.
Yeah, so when they scan it, if they want the listing link with all this infographics, they have to enter that basic information. So you get their information, they get the listing information. It's an exchange of data.
It's easy to get this information through the buyer's agent.
Yeah, I believe so. Like first, if you're showing a house, someone else is listing to your clients and you wanna plug in this
Yeah.
address and get your buyers an infographic to walk them through the property. That's a really good question, Jay. No.
Same information.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, because like I said, you can produce an open house flyer on anybody else's listing by entering in the address. So, and my view is a lot different than what the agent view is, but I would think if you're able to go in there and customize your own open house flyer for any listing that's live on the MLS, I would think you'd be able to plug that in to get the infographic too. Yeah.
Could you register me?
Yeah. Yeah. You might already know.
But you want to just, I. change my mind.
He likes this. I love it.
Which is so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook thinks I can say new listing or whatever, I gotta figure it all out.
And
Yeah.
it kills me to know that people are paying monthly. You know, some of those, see, so up here, do you see it says Michael and Tara?
Yeah, that's just Mike's account,
Okay.
but that's where we're having a hard time putting my information on there too. We just wanna make sure that we're compliant.
Yeah.
So it might just be his account, I have my account, then. Turn off
Let's see. I feel like maybe it's TV. Everything's doing what it wants to do. I would assume you're in here already. There you are. And then actually Allison and Andrea, I'll try to search you in here too. If not, I might just have you pop your phone number and email in the chat, and then I can just set you up manually if it's not already in the system. Okay, me.
Just got access this week
Yeah.
to the MLS, so I don't know how much it'll populate.
And then I think I scrolled through that whole marketing package. Did you guys have any questions? I'm gonna take this off mute. On any of the other, it's funny too, because Mark doesn't have a whole lot of live listings, but when he does have one go occasionally, like he was the very first one, he was like blown away. He's like, literally, I posted this and within 5 or 10 minutes, he was able to put a shareable out on Facebook. So yeah, you have the listing presentation, you have a buyer's report there. So I would assume you'd be able to create that buyer's report for anybody. And then the sign route, and there's also postcards. So if you do any type of mailing system, you would have this postcard that you'd be able to download that and then send it out through whatever mailing service you use. So it is friendly with whatever else you have going on, or maybe it'll eliminate other things that you have going on. But I think that pretty much does it for me. And I think I want to send out, because I didn't get a lot of clarification, but I know sometimes when you pay to boost a post, it can get kicked back. And there's a certain type of like algorithm where you can get around whatever Facebook jail they put you in with those promoting. So I want to get that out. Our trainer, Chelsea, has that presentation and we didn't get to touch base on it in time. So I'll share it out through your guys' email. That way, if you're interested in boosting posts, it'll be your cheat.
If you
You're good. Good luck. Sell a house. All right. Well, if nobody else has any questions, I'm gonna make sure we get Allison and Andrea into list reports. So you can start using that. And thank you guys so much for taking the time for our marketing class. And look for future marketing classes too. Bye, Jay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Look for that email to come out shortly. It'll just go straight to your email and you just accept the invitation.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Perfect.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks, you too.